Hey guys, well, a couple of days ago I put a very short video up on the Long Range Hooligans group, and it showed my tracker over here busy doing a few oscillations and things, and naturally what happened is everyone went, wow, what's that, how do you make it, what are you doing? And you know, it always kind of surprises me a bit, but maybe it's, I've been flying FPV for many years, you know, right from the early days. Trackers were commonplace at one point, but you know, a lot of newcomers to the hobby, and they just, you know, they use their goggles and that's it. So along comes one of these babies and they go, wow, what is it? How do you do it? So I thought I'd give a very quick rundown of what's involved and what all the parts are. So first off, if I can show you here, this is a heavy tripod. I've got a very heavy duty tripod on here. This tripod reaches about 2.5 meters up above my head. It's designed for holding a video camera, and it is fantastic, if not heavy. And then on the front here, I've got a little 3D printed part, which clips on quite nicely, and that's designed for holding my battery, which you can see over there. Now, because I am a weakling, I'm going to lift this out if I can, and I'll show you the rest like this. What I got on here is essentially, I've got a Clearview Receiver sitting over here, and this is just effectively mounted to a 3D printed mount that I designed up in OpenSCAD, printed it out using armadillo filament. It's strong as it's not going anywhere. So that's just a regular receiver. There's nothing to it. It could be any analog receiver. You know, I think I've got another one floating around somewhere, but you know what? You could use rapid fire. You could use a modified goggle module. You could use an RC805. It's really not, it's up to you. You know, so you can get any receiver. You can mount it to the tracker. And well, that's the tracker over there. You know, you can see up there. And I've got an antenna. Again, this happens to be a really fancy True RC Vulcan 18 dBi 5.8. You know, theoretically, with 400 milliwatt, I think I can do something like 25 to 30 kilometers. But you know what? There's nothing stopping you using any antenna on it. But the main thing is put a patch on it, because there's no point swinging a little clover or something around. You want to at least get something long range, which in this case, you don't get much better than one of these for circular polarized. And you can see on here, the tracker can rotate. It's got 360 bearing underneath, and it can go on pitch. Now, the way this all works is quite simple. What you've got, tracker goes on the ground, and it's effectively sitting, the video feed from your receiver gets fed into the tracker, and the tracker is listening to the video feed. It's in this particular case, I think it's the same for my Fly Dream, the Eagle Eyes tracker, for quite a variety of them. They use, it's the VBI signal, it's the vertical blanking interval, which is kind of a part of the video feed that we watch. And in the same way that your digital TV systems can send some information, a bit like the old teletext stuff used to work, it's possible for them to send GPS coordinates of the aircraft to the circuit board inside here by kind of listening to the VBI interval and all the signal that's being encoded. And then on the end, it just pushes your video feed out. So as I say, there's no real reason to not use this if you flew with 1.2 gig. It's just a 1.2 gig receiver and a suitable antenna. And there's, you know, whilst this is the Arkbird, there's a lot of other different options. Recently I've been playing with the My Fly Dream trackers. And that's a totally different ballgame, where they can support both the vertical interval, the VBI interval, and they can also support a Mavlink telemetry coming in from a completely different source. It all amounts to the same thing. You're basically getting the GPS coordinate from your aircraft to the device, and then the circuitry on your ass is pointed in the right direction. There's nothing more to it. I'm sure it's a whole lot more complex, but we don't need to worry about that. And in my case, you know, I've flown with a Skylark tracker, I've flown with a My Fly Dream tracker, the Arkbird tracker. They all work. But what happens on the airborne side? Well, on the airborne side, you would typically have a GPS, which you may already have one in your model, and you have a little chip which sits in line between the video feed and, well, the video in and the video out. So in most cases, like in my models around here, what I've done is I've got it from effectively the video out on the flight controller, just basically before it hits the VTX, I put it in line between, and all it does is it takes the GPS signal injects it into the VBI signal, sends it down the link to the tracker, and the tracker goes, "Oh, I've got you," and points your antenna for you. It works quite well. So there you have it. This is my my beast. It's one of many trackers. They work very well, and if I'm honest, when I'm flying on 5.8, 9 times out of 10, I seldom go beyond 3 kilometers. I just don't. But the thing is, when I've got a tracker, I have flawless video. I can be 50 foot off the deck, 3 kilometers away, and it is perfect. Absolutely perfect. You don't get breakup, you don't get noise. If I were just using my goggles, well, the signal's a little bit kind of so-so. So all up, I love trackers for that reason. What I just don't know is how this is going to work with these. Because I haven't worked that problem out yet, because at the moment, with the way things are moving with everything in one of these goggles and the picture quality, the analog off that, well, we're yet to see what happens. Hopefully you'll find there'll be some good digital FPV systems which will come out which will suit something like the tracker. Time will tell. Although I think it might be challenging, because by the look of it, you're going to have such big antennas on here. These things have 4 antennas on here. Can you imagine 4 of those? It's not only expensive, but it's huge. So we'll see what happens, but that's the future. Either way, hopefully that has shown you a little bit about what the trackers are and how they work. There's nothing much to it. You can buy the Arkbird trackers from arkbirdfpv.com. They are fantastic, easy to use. Of all the trackers, it's probably the easiest I've ever had to set up, so highly recommended to use them. And get on with it. Challenge yourself. It's not that expensive to do. You can make it as expensive or as cheap as you want. Give it a try. Cheers, guys.